check 1 2 1 2. I'm back in this bitch watching Scooby Doo. Ooh, say no. We don't miss. I don't miss. He don't miss. What's up, y'all? I'm back. Oh, my man, Gibby. My man, hey, first of all, we back where we don't miss. It's me. It's the bull. I'm the bull that do the thing. I'm the guy that be at the place where the thing be at. That's being done. That's me. I'm that bull. My name is Jalen. Or Ronnie. Or Scat Cat. That's my favorite. I got a lot of names. He call me self-proclaimed name Bull J. I got a lot of names. I'm here with my co-host, Gibraltar, a.k.a. Gibby. You know what I mean? It's my dog. Say what's up, Gibby. Y'all can't hear him because he don't got a mic. I'm back. It's we don't miss in this bitch. And 2 weeks in a row. Listen, and I'm on time today. I came on the actual day that I was supposed to come. I actually was on time. My producer was late, bitch ass nigga in the back. He talking about somebody didn't see the text message because he was on a whole different Instagram watching butt. I know it's nothing but butt on that page. Butt in sports. Oh, all right, my fault. Oh yeah. But the explore page is all butt. I know because I transferred that gram. I know what that gram was before I made it to pod page. This nigga was over there over the explore page. I'm about to, matter of fact, after we done recording, I'm gonna go look to see the likes. Look through the likes. Oh, all right, yeah, you're right. Don't like, just save. I'm gonna go through the saves. We don't miss back in this bitch. Hey, listen, we got some exciting things coming up soon. You know what I'm saying? Niggas just gotta get more consistent. Niggas just gotta be in a bag. But listen, it's okay. Show a nigga some love. It don't. What do you say? Wabble dee dabble dee. It don't cost nothing to show a nigga some love. You feel me? I do appreciate y'all who really rock with the show, who watch the show. I know it's growing pains. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be a little unprepared with my sports take. Sometimes I be like, yo, what's this guy average? What's this? Look up standings. At a certain point, I'm gonna have like a little laptop I'm gonna bring my laptop up at this joint. Once we upgrade the studio more, I'm gonna have a little laptop table. I'm gonna have all the nerd stats right here. All the nerd stats that I hate. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have niggas Vorps. I'm gonna have on football, I'm gonna have DBOA. I'm gonna have, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have clean the glass. I'm gonna have, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna have PFR and shit on here. You know what I'm saying? What's it called? PPF, PFP? Whatever that shit, Pro Football Focus or some shit, PFF, whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm gonna have all my nerd shit, you know what I'm saying? But I got some this about to be a heavy NBA episode because the NFL is just pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? I keep seeing more niggas go to the Eagles. You know I don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fields just went to Pittsburgh. I don't really have a take other than he's going to be on the bench. For anybody who thought that he wasn't going to be on the bench, smarten up. Become smarter. Don't be dumb. Stop being so stupid. You really think you're going to knock him off the bench? I know niggas don't like Russ, but like, I just look at, you got a veteran quarterback and a system that's kind of built to make up for the weaknesses at quarterback, literally considering that you had Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and there was somebody else. I can't remember who it was last week. That was last season, the season that just passed. Who was but you literally you have an offense and you have a team just built to make up for your absence at quarterback. So Russell Wilson is just like he's going to do enough, in my opinion. Freaking the Steelers just don't miss the playoffs. It's just like, it's impossible. Mike Tomlin is like, his floor is don't miss the playoffs. We watched the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick, miss the playoffs the last 2 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'd probably say that Mike Tomlin's quarterback situation was better, but it was still trash. The Patriots just have probably like the worst quarterback. This last season probably just had one of the worst quarterback situations in like the last 20 years, to be honest. But that's also a monster that was created by Bill Belichick, because not only is he the coach of the team, but he's also the GM. So it was like, nigga, you chose these players. As a coach, you can't be mad if your team is ass when you chose the players. You can't say, fuck, these niggas is trash. No, you go, fuck, I picked a trash team. It's like when you at recess and you pick all the bum niggas and your team getting blown out and you like, oh, and you pause the game, you like, yo, no, we cheat, y'all the bomb squad. Like, yeah, no, nigga, I know. Thank you. I'm a good GM, pussy. I'm Sam Presti. You fucking Elton Brand. You know what I'm saying? For all my Sixers fans, y'all know what I'm talking about. What else? Fucking an Atlanta Falcon fan was mad at me for what I said about them, and it's not who, and he might be thinking like, oh, I didn't say nothing to you. It's not you, pussy, somebody else. So he was like, what? You clearly haven't watched Drake London play, which may be true, because who the fuck was watching Falcons games last year? Falcons fans. And let me tell you what, 80% of Falcons fans, not 100% of them niggas wasn't watching that shit. You wanted me to sit there and watch Desmond Ridder? Come on, bro. Even though he did have a game against Green Bay, that game against Green Bay last year was good as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. It was a really good game. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not watching y'all, nigga. And guess who ain't have a big game that game when I watch? Drake London. Fuck that nigga. I don't give a fuck. I ain't fuck with no nigga named Drake or London. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fuck with Drake. I'm saying like he snapped, he was like, bro, you clearly haven't watched enough Kirk Cousins. And even though what I just said previously about Russell Wilson is kind of contradictory to what I'm saying about the Falcons, because I'm like, you going to put your trust in the Kirk Cousins, right? Because you could easily just say, well, you will put the Pittsburgh Steelers trust, and you think they got their trust in Russell Wilson? And the answer to that is no, I don't think that, because like I said, you got all these offensive weapons from in Atlanta, right? Well, granted, they did change their whole staff, new head coach. I think they got a new OC. They did get a new OC, because midway through the season last year, they just was like, you know what, Bijan, you are having an unbelievable rookie season. Guess what? No more touches. we going to decrease your touches. We can't, you know what I'm saying? That little Samoan boy over in LA, he kind of doing his thing. I think that nigga might have had a little parlay, you know what I'm saying, little preseason parlay for him to get OROY, because Bijan had it in the bag. And then Puka, even though Puka was great to start the season off, but like, I remember that niggas was talking about, is Bijan the best running back in the league for like the first 5-6 games, right? But anyway, they got a nice little thing going. But like I said, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense team, period. Not even just offense. I don't want to say offense, because it's not like they're great offensively. They actually were disgusting offensively. I think what was like through the first 12 weeks or some shit, like they were the only team that was above 500 with a negative point differential. It was crazy. But fuck, I forgot what I was about to say. But they got great defense. You know what I'm saying? TJ Watt is going to be coming back. You feel what I'm saying? Like, remember, fuck this shit up. First week of the season. Like, TJ Watt, they going to have him for the whole year. Hopefully. You got to knock on wood with shit like that. Especially we got niggas that's as injury prone as that. But with the Falcons, it's like, I could dig it. I could dig you not really solely relying on Kirk Cousins if you weren't trying to build your offense, your team based off offense. And every single post, every time I hear it referenced in whether it be the pundits, like fucking NFL Live, or I hear fucking whatever football guys that I like to listen to. I listen to this one pod on Spotify, and they just go over all the NFL news and shit, whatnot. I always hear these niggas like, yo, their offense. And I'm just thinking, like, why is nobody talking about defense? I'm glad that I got a sports pod now, because, like, now I can speak on the things and, like, yes, you can highlight these things, but, like, let's really talk about the other side. These games ain't played on one side. You feel me? Like, what about defense? You can have a great offense. And then also just having Kirk Cousins and all these weapons don't guarantee that your offense is going to be great. Look at the Eagles last year. They had a plethora of great weapons. DeAndre Swift, he did have the best year of his career, and a run game was potent, but Andre I'm talking about Andre. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. Like, you would think they offense. Nope. Jay Hurts, just throw it to A.J. Brown. Every play. Damn it. If the ball was going in the air, 9 times out of 10, it was going to A.J. Brown. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the Eagles didn't utilize fully to their capacity, like, all their offensive weapons. You know what I'm saying? It was like that, tush push. Oh, screen. And y'all know it. All the Eagles fans know it. That's why they hated the nigga Brian Johnson so much. They're like, why he keep running screenplays? Why is he not feeding DeAndre Swift the ball? Because DeAndre Swift didn't really get going until like four games into the season. For real. Niggas found out. I remember the game, but I don't remember who it was. I remember the game. It was like, oh, and I think Swift had like almost 200 yards, and they was like, oh shit, Swift. All the Eagles fans, like, yeah. So, you could have like you have riches on the offensive side of the ball, but if you ain't going to utilize them correctly, if you ain't going, that's why I'm like, I think the Falcons is going to be one of the teams that I'm really going to like pay attention to this year, just cause like whether they're good or bad, cause I want to see if they're good. I want to see what they did really. First of all, if they good, the defense is going to have to like, it's going to really have to like surprise me, because you know what I'm saying, I'm not really familiar with with their defensive personnel, to be honest. If they have some sleepers, I know it's going to be one Falcon fan that's like, oh, you don't know about Quavion Henry. he's the best safety in the league. I'm like, yeah, you right. I don't watch Falcons games. Like, I know I'm starting to get into the sports field, so I'm going to have to really start like keying in microscope shit damn near to every single team. But wait until next football season. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to catch up, but it's 32 teams in the league. Nigga, I can tell you about the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? I already got all the tape with the Giants. I watch even more Eagles games than I watch Giants games, so I can give you the tape on them. You feel me? I've been, you know what I'm saying? I've been real fascinated with Green Bay. You want to know what Green Bay got going on? Talking about Falcons fans, you want to know what Green Bay got going on? You know what I'm saying? Minnesota, Jordan Addison. That was offense again. Damn, my fault. Damn. Well, no, that's really all I got with football. It's some more signings and shit going on, but because this joint is weekly, because this episode, because the pod airs weekly, it's kind of hard to like. It's not hard, but it's like keeping up with free agency signings and whatnot. It's kind of difficult if you do on a pod once a week, just because it's like by the time I talk about it next week, it's like old news. You feel me? Like last week when we recorded, right out of here, freaking Eagles signed more niggas. Fucking more, like that's when Justin Fields went to Pittsburgh. Like more shit just kept happening. So what I'm going to do is probably at right before the draft, and I've been preparing for the draft. So watch out for my, you know what I mean, my mock draft coming soon. I'm probably gonna do the first round, to be honest. Maybe the first round, maybe the first 15 of the first round. It's 32 teams, nigga. That's gonna be the whole pod. But no, I might just do like a top 5, like my favorite signings, my least favorite signings. Y'all know it's gonna be number 1 on my least favorite signings. Come on, I fucking had a whole episode last week getting there about it, saying fuck that nigga. But I'll do that. I'll just do like a free agency recap. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, I don't really have too much with the NFL right now. At some point I'm probably gonna do like a top 10. I'm gonna do like a top 10 ranking with quarterback, running back, receivers, obviously, safeties, corners, edge rushers. Y'all want the right guard list? No, you know what I'm going to do instead of being just basic and like, oh, top 5 running backs, I'm going to give you a top 5 obscure positions. DM me with obscure positions, but they be important. Every position in football is really important. I'm going to give you the top 5 punters. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the top 5 punters in the league. I'm going to give you the top 5 left guards in the league. And I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the top 5 free safeties, like, you know what I'm saying, weak side safeties. I'm gonna give you the top 5 slot receiver. No, niggas fuck with the slot. I'm gonna give you top 5 Fullbacks, Kyle Juszczyk, you know you're gonna be number one on their list, or is there another contender? We're gonna find out. But I want to get to the NBA because the NBA is starting to heat up. NBA starting to heat up. It's like 14 games left in the season for most teams, but I do have a question. Is Victor Wembanyama a top 10 player already? Do y'all niggas watch Victor Wembanyama? Do y'all actually watch him though? Do y'all actually watch him, or do y'all just look at him on highlights or Free Dawkins on YouTube for all my niggas who watch highlights? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all actually watch this nigga? I've been watching Spurs games. If the Spurs get a fucking point guard, I know they got Trey. I know they got you know what I'm saying? I know they got what's his name? Trey Jones. No, like he's good backup. Good backup. No, he's a good backup. He ain't a starting point guard. I've been seeing rumors. They saying, oh, they might get DeJounte Murray back in there, but no, I like that better. They saying they might get Trae Young over there. Cool, but this nigga get a point guard, it might be over for y'all niggas. I was just literally looking at they put up you know on highlights and shit. They put up a little clip, but I watched the game, and even beyond that, bro. Sometimes you just look at him. My favorite things of him don't be like the amazing. Oh, he did a behind the back pass to no. My favorite thing that I saw from him is they threw this nigga the ball down the lane. I was watching this. They threw this nigga the ball down the lane. Boom, he caught it, and this nigga tall as shit. He's 7'5". He caught or 7'4", whatever, however tall, taller than me, taller than your favorite player. He caught the ball and he just had it like this. And he had nowhere to go with it because them niggas immediately like double, triple teamed him. And at first you could see in his head, that he was like, oh shit, I have nowhere to go with this. And then he just looked at the rim. He was like, oh shit, I'm taller than everybody. And without even moving, he just threw the ball in. Like he just threw it off the backboard and it went in. And it was crazy because it's like anybody else, they got to jump to get above everybody. They got to do the little shit where they start swinging their elbows and then they get fouled and somebody stand. But no, he did all of that. He was in the same amount of trouble. And then the nigga just looked at the rim and was like, oh shit, I'm right here. And just flipped it in. He just said, oh. And just threw it off the backboard and it went in. He didn't jump. He didn't move. He barely moved his pivot foot. And it was like, oh. Then I saw another play where he was in a dunker spot and somebody was coming down the lane. That's why I say you need a point guard. Because he was coming down the lane and then he was just standing there and they just kind of threw him the ball. And it was a defender right there at the rim. And usually this nigga don't jump when he dunk. This time he actually jumped and it was like, oh, it was clear. Like he's about to score. And he just jumped and just dunked that shit in. So what I mean by that is he the best is he a top 10 player already? I might have to go over the top 10. I'm not including Joel Embiid right now because he's hurt and he might not come back for the rest of the season. So if y'all do the top 10 and I'm a Sixers fan, that's my favorite player, but for the niggas who are like, oh, Joel Embiid got to be in there, I'm excluding him because he hasn't played for like the last 25, 30 games. You know what I'm saying? And fucking he might not come back. So, number 1, Jokic, obviously. Number 2, Luka. Number 3 might be Shea. Number 4, Giannis. Those are like the definites. Joel will be in this list, but like I said, he's out for the season. Those 4, number 1, you can order them any type of way you want, but number 1 is definitely Jokic. 2, 3, 4, you can number any type of way, it don't really matter. Number 5, right now, Steph Curry, I would say he is better than him. But he only has that because of cachet. Because of the cachet that he has built over the span of his career. Have y'all really seen what Victor Wembanyama has been doing lately, bro? He's like, ever since he stopped playing like the 4 and actually been playing center, this nigga been averaging like 24 points, like 3.5 blocks. Like, no. I'm sorry. That's what he averaged on the season. So that's including the beginning of the year where he was a rookie type shit trying to figure shit out. I'm talking about since, I would go back 2 months. I would go back probably since January, bro. This nigga been averaging, I think I saw this. He been averaging literally like 23 points, like 11 rebounds, like handful of assists, and like 5 blocks a game. Like, honestly. He's been ridiculous. First player in however long to record a 5x5. Any niggas that know what a 5x5 is, 5 steals, 5 assists, 5 blocks, 5 rebounds, 5 points. No. I'm talking about first player in however long. So you saying he the second player ever? No. I feel like more niggas did it before. But first player in at least the last 5 years. And if it isn't the 5 players, then it might be one other person did it. Because I know Tim Duncan had. Yeah, no. Yeah, we talking about a different stat. Because I know for a fact 2 other niggas who's done it. I know David Robertson has done it. Tim Duncan has done it. Draymond has done it. I know man niggas have done a 5x5. But he's the first one to do it in a long time. He is in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. That's ridiculous. I'm going to tell you why. That's ridiculous, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it's ridiculous because the Spurs defense isn't a top-rated defense. Like, the obvious answer is Rudy Gobert. And this nigga Victor said, yo, let him have that John. He kind of washed. Like, that nigga, you know what I mean? I got mad Jones about to come in the next, you know what I mean? So let him have this while I'm a rookie. I'm on that nigga ass. Rudy Gobert is the only nigga I know ever to win Defensive Player of the Year, but you constantly see this nigga get cooked on defense. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't get, in the paint stats, his opponent field goal percentage when they go up against him at the rim is below sub. Okay, cool. Come here. You shouldn't be a Defensive Player of the Year when I can say, come here, and I know I'm getting a bucket. Instant bucket. Like, that shit count for negative. So all that good shit that you just said, that should count for negative. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if, he's the big and they're small. No. Well, that don't go for Bam Adebayo. I know it's, I know he had a game winner. But I'm talking about, like, just on deep, like, if you switch on Bam, guess what's happening? You about to get clamped. You feel me? Bam gonna be on that ass. If you switch on Giannis, less chance of you getting clamped on the perimeter is Bam, but guess what? He gonna catch up and he gonna smack that shit. Rudy Gobert can't even get the chase down behind you if you get past him because he's slow as shit. He got feet like cement. You know what I'm saying? Like he's very stationary. But like I was saying about Victor, bro, we got 4 niggas. All right, so I was saying right now, is Kevin Durant better than Victor Wembanyama? I know it sounds blasphemous. But let me tell you this. Kevin Durant 29 a game or 28 point something, but I'm going to just say 29. 29 a game. Let me tell you this. Kevin Durant, teammates, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. I know Bradley Beal missed a lot of games, right? You would think that those teams, that like whenever they're together, all 3 of them together, oh shit, but they play really well when they're together. Let me tell you this. No, you getting the best use of Nurkic season that you've gotten in a long time. He hasn't played 50 games since like 2018. He's played not all the games, but this is definitely going to be the most games that this nigga's played in a long time. A rebounding fucking monster beast. Grayson Allen, just from the percentages, best 3-point shooter in the league right now. I think he's shooting like 45, 44% from 3. Getting great shit. Eric Gordon still off the bench. I know they don't have like defenders. They got Royce O'Neal, but he kind of old. Once like good defenders get them old, it's like the same thing with Robert Covington. Like they get that little. I call them like squeaky body. Like them niggas can't move the same like laterally. You know what I'm saying to really defend. Same shit going on with Klay Thompson, right? Kevin Durant, great player. I would still rank him over Victor. I'm not saying that he's not better than Victor, but it's not as in years past. You be like Kevin Durant. Clearly, he would have been in the top 4, like auto instant. Hold up. It was instant. Like he would have been part of the top 4. Like definitely clearly. But he hasn't been the same guy. Like I know if you just look at the numbers, but these shit's not resulting in wins. It's kind of like with LeBron. I'm gonna get to that. It's kind of like the same with LeBron. Like LeBron and AD for the most part all year have been healthy. I think LeBron missed like 7 games or 10 games maybe. AD, that Data Davis shit, that street clothes, whatever they was calling him, nigga didn't miss only like 5, 6, 7 games, handful of games. But one, the Lakers offense Like, very pedestrian, regular. Net rating, offensive efficiency, they just a regular team offensively. You would think that they would be way better with LeBron James and Anthony Davis giving you 4 seasons. I don't know. It's something. This has always been kind of a mystery to me when players are putting up seemingly great stats, but they just don't result in winning. Then you got niggas sometimes where they got like they don't do like they don't. I call it like the Trae Young. It's like the Trae Young thing. It's like, or you can have a guy like Derek White. Look at Derek White. Derek White leads to winning. Granted, now I know that team is ridiculous over there in Boston, but it's like he might have 17. He might have 12 points, 6 rebounds, and like a handful of assists or something like that. But it's like, I think it's more the timing of when the buckets happen, or the timing of when the rebound when he got that rebound, or the time, or or the timing of the assist. Shaq say this one thing all the time on Inside the NBA, and I never forget it because sometimes them niggas be saying a lot of bullshit, but they also say a lot of real shit that is really important. And he always say timely defense. He said he wasn't a great defensive player, but I made timely defensive plays. He said, oh, yeah, I was bad free throws, but I made them when I needed to. And that's kind of what it is. I feel like, because if you look at Kevin Durant this year, a lot of people don't know his clutch stats ain't really that good. Like, he's shooting like 35% in clutch time. And y'all know if y'all don't know what clutch time is defined by like, I think within 5 minutes, and if the game is within 5 points in the last 5 minutes of the game, that's technically, like, that's the technical definition for clutch time. And if you look at, and apparently his stats in that time, just as a field goal percentage, he ain't really been, he's shooting below 40%. Like, he doesn't connect. So that's very important. I remember being a Monte Ellis fan when his post Golden State days, when he was in Milwaukee, Dallas. I was more of a fan when he was in Dallas. But he was only like an 18-point per game guy, but the Mavericks at that time, him and old Dirk, like they were a nice I think they were 7-8 seed, but he was like very efficient in the clutch. And it's like, damn, bro, he got more of a, and I'm just thinking about that. Like, but if you watch Victor Wembanyama, and this is what I'm about to circle back to, because I feel like most of those guys are going to have better stats than him. But if you watch the San Antonio game, he'll have like 9 points throughout the first 3 quarters, or the first 2 quarters, and then towards the end of the third and the fourth quarter, that's when that's when the blocks happen. That's when all those plays that you be seeing like in the highlights. This is also another trick too. If you're not gonna really watch games, when you watch the highlights, look at the quarters, cause you know they're gonna be good to show you highlights that's like in the first quarter, first half, second quarter. If you look at the highlights, always look at the quarter that they was done. You know what I'm saying? And you look at Vic and you look at Wemby, I'm just be like fourth quarter. That should be like third quarter. You know what I'm saying? He get timely buckets. I remember they played Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? He had the little bucket. I remember they played Phoenix earlier in the year when they played them twice in a row. I think they beat them twice back to back or whatever. He had the bucket down low in the end of the quarter, like the 3, boom. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I would say Kevin Durant is better than him. Say Anthony Davis is better than him. That's 6. Steph Curry, I would say. Is Jason Tatum better? Yes. Yes, I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like I'm Dickie and Wembanyama. But I'm really telling y'all, if you watch him, just pay attention. If he's not better than him now, I could see him being a top 10 player coming up. He just is different. I think I saw Complex Sports. I don't remember where I saw it on the gram, and they asked that, somebody in the comments asked that question, and then I think somebody made it a post, because I might have seen that question a week ago, and I think they made it a post, because they might have also seen it and was like, no, is this a real thing? Not right now. Probably top 20, but it's more of a conversation than you'll be led on. I would probably say, let me see all the players that I would say. Obviously, Jokic, Luka, Shea, Giannis, Steph, KD, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum, D-Book, Is he better than Domantas Sabonis? Wherever you got Domantas Sabonis, who's having an unbelievable season. I'm not gonna turn this into a Domas pride, but because at the end of the day, Draymond Green and Golden State exposed that man last year. He's having an unbelievable season, probably the best player over there in Sacramento. But right now, his lights got a little bright. Then nigga Draymond just left him 5 feet from me to the camera. Go ahead, shoot it. He wasn't shooting it. He wasn't bullying this nigga Draymond. Like he got exposed. This it's like the same thing with Joel Embiid. Like this happens to players where they're really good in the playoff, but once your flaw gets exposed, you can have the most unbelievable season, and niggas still not gonna take you serious. Joel Embiid has to be taken serious just for the sole fact that he is unbelievable in the playoffs. It's the same thing with James Harden. Like right now, Joel Embiid is in the space that James Harden was at in 2018. It's like, yeah, you doing all that shit, but what you gonna do in the playoffs? Which is true. Same thing with Domas. The reason I want to put Domantas Sabonis up there with Joel, because his, what he do in the regular season, even though it's great, it's not to the level that other niggas is doing it. But back to the list. He's better than Dame. I'm sorry. I'm a Dame fan. Wemby is better than Dame right now. He's better than Bam. He's better than Jimmy right now. Sorry. I know y'all Miami Heat fans love Jimmy and playoff Jimmy and whatnot. And I'm going to tell you this right now. That shit ain't going to work this year. I'm going to tell you why. Every time that the Heat have exposed or overachieved in the playoffs, it's always been a time where niggas wasn't thinking about the Heat. But now, because them niggas done did it so much, everybody is like, watch out for the Heat. And now it's not going to happen like that. Same shit happened after the bubble. They went to the bubble. Niggas wasn't thinking about the Heat. Oh, shit, how these niggas wound up in the finals? The next year, everybody was like, yo, watch out for the Heat. They made the finals last year. Watch out for the Heat. Then guess what? The Heat got destroyed in the first round. Then the following year, they came back, and I think they was the 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? But niggas wasn't thinking about them, but they were the 1 seed. So that year when Boston went to the finals, they were the 1 seed. They met in conference finals. Boston won. Then everybody forgot about the Heat because they made the play-in last year. And the moment when niggas forgot about them, that's when they popped up and they made the finals. But guess what's not happening this year? In my opinion, every nigga who been watching basketball has been like, yo, watch out for the Heat, the Heat, the Heat, the Heat. You know what I'm saying? They're the sleeping giant. Oh, they always do this during the regular season. You know what I'm saying? For the niggas that know, they've been watching them. But that's when they always underachieve because niggas saying. So that shit gonna back up. That shit gonna backfire this year. I promise you. The Heat ain't gonna do what they usually do. But better than Jimmy. It's Victor Wembanyama. Is he better than Jalen Brunson right now? No, I like Jalen Brunson a lot. But like, I feel like he in that range. That's what I'm saying. Like, is he a top 20 guy? Where's Jalen Brunson? Is Jalen Brunson better than Dame? Yes, right now. Dame give you one a week. And then Dame give you one a week, and then, you know what I'm saying, they pop up like, yo, Dame had 50. And then the next 2 games, oh, Dame had 21, and he shot 38%. Oh, Dame had 27. Oh, yeah, he had 27. Oh, shit, he shot 9 for 24, though. I'm telling you. But that's pretty much all I got on Wemby. I just like watching him, bro. I don't like watching the Spurs because they got any team that wear gray also too. Gray is just such a melancholy color. Like, I don't fuck with that gray shit. Fuck y'all niggas. But speaking of Kevin Durant, Phoenix. No, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm tripping. I'm sorry I didn't even start with this when I got into basketball. Kyrie fucking Irving. Kyrie with the left hand. Nigga, he looked like he was Magic Johnson when he hit the left hand skyhook over in the fucking 1980 finals. I know y'all seen that on Hardwood Classics on NBA TV for my niggas who watch NBA like that for real. I know y'all see that game. But no. So, Dallas versus Denver. Tight game, 105-105. Nigga, Kyrie come off the curl screen. He come off the curl screen. Get the ball. Little head fake. Dribble. Left hand. Is it a floater? Is it a sky hook? Let's call it a float hook. I don't know what the fuck it was. But the left hand over Nikola Jokic to win the game at the buzzer. I seen a nigga say that's the best game winner he's ever seen. I'm not going to disagree. Regular season wise, let me say that. Because when you talk about game winners, you have to put the weight of the moment as a factor. You feel me? This is just a even though they do need these regular season games, because I do think it's in the best interest for Dallas to get out the play-in tournament. So this is a heavy one for the regular season, but still, obviously, his Cleveland game winner against Golden State is his best one. But if you just talking about, if you take out the moment and just have the type of game winner it is, just off of what it was, the type of shot, that is it. I don't even hoop no more because I'm a fat piece of shit. I've always been a fat piece of shit, but I'm even more of a fat piece of shit than I was. And I got blood clots, so a nigga fucking real be with that court and die. And I fucking right up and did their court, and then I just fall down dead. But any nigga that ever played ball will tell you. First of all, he was running not north-south, like to the basket. He was running side to side, east-west. He got the ball and came, and he's running across the lane. So this is the basket, my microphone. He's running across the basket. The left-hand floater, he's a righty. Obviously, you know that's a hard one. But even if this nigga was doing it on his right hand, with his right hand he was doing it coming opposite direction, that's still a tough shot. He did it with his left hand, and then he got fat-ass Nikola Jokic right behind him contesting it. And I know he's not athletic, but if you just think about it, he's still 7 feet with his hands up. That's like the equivalent to a 6. Kyrie is 6'2", mind you. So a 7-footer with their hand up to a 6'2" nigga is the same as if a 6'5" nigga was jumping up and contesting it. You know what I'm saying? That's how, because Nikola Jokic has, 7-foot arm. You got fucking wingspan. So that's basically a left-hand floater over an 8-foot obstacle. And I think he did it off the right foot, off the right leg. He jumped off the right leg, I think, if you watch it. So it was a disgusting game winner. Like, this nigga Kyrie Irving is nasty. And that got me to thinking. They say Kyrie Irving is the most skilled player in the NBA, maybe in NBA history. I'm not mad at that. Offensively, if you're thinking just offense, what can he do? He can dribble, best handles ever. He's always been a plus. I think above 40% 3-point shooter, if not above 40%, definitely above league average. So he's a great shooter. He even won a 3-point contest, and probably the best under the rim finisher of all time. What can he do on offense? And I know recently I made some comments about, the problem with Kyrie Irving is, Kyrie Irving has a very defensive fan base. Because the clip started off, I said, the problem with Kyrie Irving is, and once niggas heard the problem with Kyrie, they just instantly jumped into defensive mode. But I said a statement that I don't think is kind of wrong. His play style is very, what's the word? His play style is very, I don't want to say draining, but it's a lot of energy consuming. There we go. It's a lot of energy. It's very energy consuming. You got to think, when Kyrie Irving dribbles the ball, a lot of movement, whatever. And I'm not saying that he's not built to do it, because in one game he can probably do it. We've seen him do it. In another game, we can see him do it. But the thing about the playoffs is you playing the same team every other night. So you see that same defender every other night. Kyrie Irving, even though he got the greatest handle of all time, probably is what a lot of niggas would say, he doesn't really create like the most separation. Like if you look at Kyrie Irving when he plays, for the most part, a lot of his baskets are contended. There's a lot of people, whoever his defender is usually right on his hip. You feel me? That's why his under the rim package is so crazy under the basket. Like he get nasty with it. right? But if you look at him, so when I say that, I'm not necessarily saying that he can't keep. I'm not talking about within the game, right? If you just look at Kyrie Irving's last 3 playoff bursts, I could give them to you right now. Last year, well, obviously last year they didn't make the playoffs because he was with Dallas at the end of the year, and then they just tanked the rest of the season because they wanted the 9th pick. But the last season in Brooklyn, the first game, I think he had 39 points. It was a very close one, but they lost to Boston. Then if you look at the rest of that series, second game, under 40%. Every other game after that series, when they got swept, the first game, 39 points, he went off. Second, third, fourth game, after the rest of the sweep, guess what? Shot under 30%. Very bad series. Look at the game splits of those. Let's go last playoff berth. I think before that is when he played and he got hurt in the second round against Milwaukee. That was that series where Kevin Durant went absolute bonkers. But you go to his last Celtics playoff series. Again, against Milwaukee, second round. I think Boston, they got out to a 2-0 lead on Milwaukee. Balling. Cool. That was the year when Milwaukee won the finals. I think it was the year when Milwaukee won the finals. Or it might have been the whatever year that was. First game, I think he was cooking 40 points. He was dicking. Second, third, fourth, fifth game, rest of those series. Every game, my point is, and why I say it's draining is, first game of the series, second game of the series, he'll cook. He'll go crazy as the number one. I'm talking about when he's the number one guy. He goes crazy. Then it's like just a steady decline every game as far as production-wise. And you could say either one or two things. You could say, oh, well, his team just you could just say that, oh, the opposing coach, picked up and he put a game plan. They started to figure him out. Or you could say his team wasn't bad, which it wasn't, because that's when he had that same Celtics team that was that went to the conference finals without him, and then the next year everybody thought, oh yeah, well, they obviously getting Kyrie Irving back. If they went to the conference finals, then clearly they're going to be in the finals. It don't usually work like that, but niggas be thinking it work like that, so that's why they say that. But then Brooklyn, we already know that team was real good. Him, KD, you know what I'm saying? You would think they'd be fire. Boston handled them niggas like that. Swept them. You feel me? So, like, Kyrie Irving does have, like, one of the most beautiful games ever. He does probably some of the most crazy. And then he's on a team with Luka Doncic where both of them niggas just randomly will just pull out some shit that you never seen ever. Like, niggas talk about that game winner, but remember that game winner that Luka Doncic hit against Memphis? Like, two seasons ago, where he was falling on the floor and the clock was running out and he flipped it up and then he scored it from the 3-point line, won a game against Memphis. Like, both of them niggas will do some shit that you just never seen. And actually, I want to talk about this. I do think that Kyrie Irving is in the place that he should be. In my opinion, Kyrie Irving is the best number 2 option in the league. I know this might sound dumb. Do I think he's better than everybody who is a number 2 option? No. Let me just explain. So, you got the Lakers who have LeBron and AD. Do I think Kyrie Irving is better than LeBron? Because at this point he's the second option in LA. Because Anthony Davis is better than LeBron at this point in his career. He's just old. I don't think that Kyrie Irving is the better player than LeBron James. But I do think that Kyrie Irving is better equipped to be the second best player on a team that's trying to make it a deep run than LeBron is. One, because obviously LeBron James has always been the number 1, so he's always used to being number 1. And even though he's a 2 right now, he'll still operate like he's the 1. Which seemingly is to the detriment of the Lakers, because everything should be running through Anthony Davis. Like, everything should be running through him full time. And then you look at LeBron secondly. But I also think, not only that, but I also think that his game is more conducive to being a number 2. Because what do you want out of the number 2 option on an NBA team? You want a guy who can get you buckets at the behest of the defense. Meaning, no matter how great that defense is doing, you want a nigga that can be able to break down that defense and just pull something out of his ass. And Kyrie Irving can do that. But like I said, you don't want him to be your number one because he's expending all of that energy every time he gets the bucket. That's why the number one guy, Luka Doncic, was somebody who can get buckets easily. Like, you look at him like, damn, how the fuck? Luka, you slow. Your handles it's tight, but it's not like extravagant. You're not doing nothing crazy. How the fuck do you just get open? But he just finds a way. You know what I'm saying? He's great at using his body, getting a little space. Like, he's the king of the little bump. I love players like that. Paul Pierce is one of the guys who mastered that shit. Just the king of the little bump. Like, I'm going to drive, and then I'm going to get to my spot. I'm going to give you a little, and you're going to give me 1 inch. That's all I need, and I'm going to get the ball up and then go in the bucket. Luka is the king of that. You feel me? Luka is the king of the funny little shot that seemed like the defender should go up, but no, he just knocked him off balance with his body a little bit, so he wasn't to get the jump. Any nigga that played, they always teach the little small niggas this when you going up for a bucket. Always lean into the defender. Because a lot of times niggas try to get away from the defender and they just give them space to jump and hit your shit. They say jump into the defender and then lay. Luka do the same shit, but like from 15 feet away, bro. Like, he just know how to create the little bit of space. But I just think that's very good for Kyrie because like when shit get a little hectic, like Kyrie is probably the best of making something out of nothing in the league. So he's perfect for a secondary role. In my opinion, I think Kyrie Irving might be the best. No, not might be. Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, is the best number 2 guy in the league. And what I mean by saying that is, I don't think that Kyrie Irving is better than everybody individually as a player who are the number 2s on a team. Because, like, do I think LeBron is better than Kyrie Irving right now? Yes. Because LeBron, let's be honest, LeBron is the number 2 on the Lakers. But his game and just his type of play is better suited to be the second option on a team that has expectations to go far. You feel me? Like, LeBron James has been a number 1 his whole career. So he moves still as if he's the number 1, when realistically that Lakers team probably should be run more through Anthony Davis. It should run through Anthony Davis even more. Kyrie Irving, and if you just look at LeBron's game, like, he got the ball in his hand a lot. He wants to facilitate. He wants to get the ball. Like, he wants to spread the ball around, hold the ball in his hands a lot. That's typically not what you want from your second option. That's kind of why, if you look at it throughout the history of the league, why point guards who are the second best player of their team, like, if your second best player on the team is your point guard who holds the ball a lot, you're probably not going to succeed if you just think about it. Like, Dirk and Steve Nash. Like, Dirk was clearly a better player on that team, but Steve Nash, granted, they just weren't just good enough as players yet at that time. But okay, let's move it to a different team. Let's move it to the Clippers team. Chris Paul holding the ball offense all day when clearly Blake Griffin was the better player. Granted, he was feeding him a lot, but probably should have moved. But Blake game wasn't conducive for the offense to be ran through him. So Chris Paul had to. But your second option should be somebody that you could just deploy, like a special agent type shit. You just deploy. Game being a little mucky. It's the end of the third quarter. They kind of going to run. Our offense ain't moving. Yo, Kyrie, sub in. Give me 4 possessions in a row where you just go to work. Then he do that. Then the team start to get more involved. The team feeling good. Now you got the fucking offensive. You got the role players. They moving around because they're like, oh shit, damn, he might do this, but he might catch me on the cut type shit. You know what I'm saying? Now the team got more juice. Like, that's what Kyrie Irving is meant. He kind of like you just deploy him at any moment of the game where you just need offense, and he could do that. I would say the top 2 obviously are Kyrie and Jamal Murray. I would go Kyrie first, Jamal Murray second. Both of these guys have won the chip as second options on their teams. Yes, Jamal Murray isn't better than Jaylen Brown, in my opinion, but I do think he's a better second option than Jaylen Brown. The Celtics are just so much better than everybody just because that team is just very well constructed and they have a clear number one and they just have all the other pieces that you would want on a championship team on there. They got everything, right? I would say, honestly, that Jaylen Brown might be third, though. And then now we starting to get into it. Like, where does Dame rank? I don't think Dame is a top 5 second option. Just because, again, usually with players who are used to being the first option, it take them a little while to get used to being the second option. Look at that first Miami Heatles team. They didn't win the chip that year because it was a lot of confusion. They always talk about it. The fucking, even in 2K, they be talking about, oh, well, wait, had to sit LeBron James down and tell him that this was your team. Like, it always happens with guys when they first options, they go to another team with probably a better player or somebody who should be the first option, and it take a while to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Now, the question is, how do I feel about who the second option in Phoenix? Is it Devin Booker or is it Kevin Durant? I feel like they're the same. I feel like at this point, they're the same level of player. Like, neither of them is better than each other. Like, you might have a day where KD is going. KD, I would say, it's just because he's just been playing more than D-Book. You feel me? But I don't know. At this point, I feel like D-Book should be clearly better because Kevin Durant, everybody like to talk about how LeBron is playing. Oh, it's his 21st year. KD going into his 18th season. Like, nigga, if you look at Kobe 18th season, he wasn't even playing because he kept getting hurt. Like, you feel me? But Kevin Durant is out here putting up 29 a game. But it's just, who would I say is the second best player on that team? Because nobody's clearly defined, I can't add either of them on the list because they don't even know who the second option is. You feel me? I feel like to be a great second option, you also have to know that you are the second option. You can't be a great second option if you going out on the court and you thinking that you're going to be the best player when you need to, commit to your role as, okay, this is this team and my best fit is this. Jaylen Brown and the Celtics didn't start taking off until, remember, it used to be a competition. Oh, whose team is it? Is it Jaylen Brown's team? Is it Jason Tatum's team? Remember that whole little narrative? It was always clear that it was Jason Tatum's team, but even just the thought in the air kind of messed them guys up. They would even talk about it. That's how that Kyrie Irving season got wrecked because everybody wanted to be the number one guy. Terry Rozier was there. Everybody wanted to be that guy. And that's how I got a little muddy. But the moment when Jaylen Brown stepped back and made it clear and fully committed to his role as the second best player on that team, them niggas start going crazy. And now it seems like they're gonna win the chip if they don't run into Denver. Who knows? Number 4. Who was number 4? I'm gonna keep it a bean. I gotta show Tyrese Maxey some love. Because again, like I say, you have to know that you are number 2. Obviously, Joel Embiid's been out, so he's been our number 1 guy. But when Joel Embiid was there, he was having his best. He was playing his best basketball when Joel Embiid was out. I know in games when Joel Embiid was out, he would have big games where he'd go 40, 50. But a lot of times we would lose, or the game would be closer than it should have been. We in clutch time with a fucking Wizards team that we should have blown out the water type shit. But Tyrese Maxey, I don't know if I would put him 2. Bam Adebayo might be 3rd, might be top 5 on that list because he knows what his role is to be. But some niggas is just too good for me just not to put on there. Like, LeBron got to be on the list just because he is LeBron. Like, it's LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I can't say Kevin Durant or D-Book because we don't know who's the number 2. They don't even know. You know that number 2 on the Lakers is LeBron. Paul George. I probably say Paul George is number 4. Paul George, the moment that he went to the Clippers, he knew that he was behind Kawhi. Kawhi has been damn near back to his best basketball, which a lot of people was talking about. But PG is the clear number 2 on that team, and I think he a top 4 second option guy. LeBron just got to be on the list. The thing about, I would go to the Kings, but Domantas Sabonis having a better year than De'Aaron Fox, but typically he's the number 1 guy. But Domantas is playing better. I'm just going to say Domantas is the second guy over there because De'Aaron Fox is the lead ball handler. lead ball handler, and you're relatively better than DeMontis. So I got to put him as to say, even though he might be better than him, but he's just not the lead ball handler. But that's also another reason why Sacramento probably won't go the furthest, because like I said, if your second best player is the one that's predominantly handling the ball, not gonna go too far. Even though I know DeMontis be dishing it, and sometimes he might do a little point forward type shit. More often times he got the ball. Even just look at their usage rate, and De'Aaron Fox is higher than DeMontis. And another thing I got to say about this too, I was driving to the studio today. And I thought to myself, why the fuck isn't Phoenix like better? For all the reasons that I named earlier, great season from Grayson. Yusuf Nurkic playing the best he's played in a long time. They got Eric Gordon. Like, their bench is obviously devoid of the necessities to be a great team. But it's not like they have scrubs. You feel me? But I thought to myself, teams get further in the NBA when their two best players do different things. So just go throughout the history of duos in the league. You look at Wade and Bron. Do I need to explain why they do different things? LeBron is a big, bruising, all-around guy who could literally do anything at that time. Dwayne Wade was a smaller, slashing guard who could pass. But they did different things. Like LeBron at that time, they were saying, oh, he'll guard 1 through 5. Well, you know, Dwayne Wade ain't going to guard 1 through 5, but he's going to be bigger for any point guard to handle at that time, and he's going to be quicker for any two to handle at that time. Look at Shaq and Kobe. I don't even need to explain why they do two different things. Look at them. If you just go through the history of the league, I'm just thinking now. I'm just thinking about all the teams that win. And I'm also thinking about all the teams that underachieved when they had two great players. LeBron and Kyrie, we already know. The pre-Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors. The two best players on that team, and I know a lot of niggas going to crucify me for saying this. The two best players on that team was Steph Curry and Draymond. And in those first two runs, Klay was actually the third best player of the three. Because for the niggas who don't know, in 2016, Draymond was the one that was going to win Finals MVP if they won that series. Remember, he was going crazy, like triple doubles, locking down shit, defensively just a wizard. And Steph Curry in that series, he wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't, he was a little injured. Wasn't playing the best. And Klay was consistently Klay. Like Klay just was Klay. But he was actually the third best. So look at Steph and Dre. No, do I need to explain why they did different things? Just go back and look. Every team, Kobe and Powell. And let me start naming teams who have underachieved. Kevin Durant and D Book. They do exactly the same thing. They're going to get buckets on high efficiency. Kevin Durant plays defense for sure, but in the moments of high leverage, he's going to focus more on his offense. D Book getting buckets. It's more evident if you look at last season when they was playing Denver in that second round series. Remember they was going through that little 3-game stretch where they both was scoring like 40 a game, but they was doing the same thing. Look at Paul George and Kawhi. They've underachieved. They've been together for 5 years now. Underachieved every time. Why? Because PG and Kawhi essentially do the same thing. They're both 6'8 plus wings. Or 6'7 plus wing. Like, I think PG is taller than Kawhi. But they're both the same guy. Wings who play defense and score. They do essentially the same exact thing. And I know y'all niggas might be kicking my back and shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have done the same thing. But let me ask you this. Before this year, they weren't looked at to be the prohibited favorites. The year that they went to the finals, weren't looked at to be prohibited favorites. The year before that, weren't looked at to be prohibited favorites. Every year where the Celtics have played together with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they always ask, should we break them up? Should we break them up? It's like, no, you shouldn't. But it's always a question. This year, they are the overwhelming favorites. But if you look at them, it's not like they're building their team based off of just Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Because then they got Kristaps Porzingis, who was playing probably his best year since that first Dallas year where they almost upset the Clippers before Kristaps got injured. Yeah, that first series, I think it was in the bubble. Kristaps got injured, and the Mavs almost upset the freaking Clips, but then he got injured, and then the Clips knocked him out of there. But he having his best season since then. And then obviously they got Derek White and fucking Drew Holiday, and then Al Horford coming off the bench, just on some I'm here too shit. So it's like, yeah, their two best players do the same thing, but it's like they also have a 7'2" guy. One of the two best perimeter guys in the league, perimeter defender guys in the league. So it's like, and then also too, if you even think about it, nobody, I mean, I'm not going to say nobody, but I wouldn't say that the Celtics are the overwhelming favorites right now. Even with them being on pace to win like 65 games, I wouldn't look at them as like, oh, they're definitely going to win the chip. Usually a team like this, most niggas would have been like, oh yeah, they winning the chip. Don't even worry about it. But it's just something holding the Celtics back that a lot of people don't, and we already know what it is. Because towards the end of the games, one of the two who do pretty much the same thing, they start going into hero ball. That's just the pattern of the Celtics. Maybe they'll change it up this year, but that's just the pattern of the Celtics every time. Look at when Giannis won the chip, him and Chris Middleton, they don't do nothing similar. I started to put together this theory just on a humbug, and I just talked it out on camera, live on camera. Like, I'm also just thinking about it too. Like, yeah, for the most part, when your two best players do different things that's needed for a team to win a ball game, that's like the best. That's when the duo really succeeds. It's typically times where guys are the same guy that they don't really do good. Look at remember when that 1 year in Houston when Russell Westbrook and James Harden was on the same team? I know Russell Westbrook do other things that's different, but if you look at it, they're both guys who have high usage rates, who try to score the ball and who try to pass the ball around. They both do the same thing. Pound the rock, find somebody open. You know what I'm saying? Granted, they do it different ways, but the way they utilize the shot clock is the same. You look at Dame and CJ, two small undersized guards who score first. Always have had issues. If I just think about it, yeah, even that freaking New Orleans Pelicans teams with Boogie and Anthony Davis. At the time, Boogie was the best center in the league. Anthony Davis was the second best. Anthony Davis was the best power forward. When power forward was still a position, it's not no more. But when Anthony Davis was the best power forward in the league, you would have thought, and they had Drew Holiday on that squad. When they got together, you would have thought, oh God, these guys are going to take over the league. No, they didn't. They were a decent team, but the two best guys did pretty much the same thing. They both big guys. In the league, especially at that time, now bigs came back. But in the late 2010s, remember, the big was completely obsolete. That Rockets team traded away him. They was like, yes, Russ Westbrook, you're going to be the center this year. Because they had to find a way for him not to do the same exact thing that James Harden was doing. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking about it. Like, if your two best players are doing pretty much the same thing, I'm not going to say you're not going to be good, but I think it's required. I ain't saying that you're gonna be good, but you probably won't win the championship. I just talked out a little theory. Live on camera. I'm a little proud of that take, to be honest. I'm actually proud of that take. About to wrap it up though. I got a question. Hey, I'm about to start doing questions and whatnot. So I'm gonna get a little bit more interactive with the We Don't Miss account. I'm gonna start doing like posts. I'm probably gonna do it the day before because like the following of the gram, and I do appreciate y'all that's following and y'all fucking with the joint. But I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna probably put it up like a day before we pod. Ask me questions. Hey, whether it be NBA shit, NFL shit. Also too, my niggas out there who fuck with the UFC, I have not forgotten about y'all because that's my favorite sport. My second favorite sport, damn near, that and football. I've been on my shit. I just finished the last season of UFC Contender Series. You know what I'm saying? For my niggas who know. You know what I mean? I did watch UFC 299. I didn't watch all the 298. I had to go back and rewatch them, but I've been back on my shit. You know what I'm saying? I got a pound for pound ranking coming out soon. But I ain't forget about my UFC niggas, bro. That's my shit. And I ain't forget. I just been like, I don't like to talk about shit that I don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? If you notice that a lot of times when it's just me, I focus heavy on NBA a lot. That's because I know that shit like the back of my hand, bro. Like I literally could spend a whole fucking pod talking about the Houston Rockets and the Hornets. But nobody want that shit. So that's why I don't do it. But I will if y'all, you know what I mean? I will if y'all want me to get real obscure, scare away all the bitches. But no, I got a question. What's the question, bro? Do I think that Anthony Edwards could play in the 90s? Yeah, from my man Rich. Shout out my boy Dirty Rich. Fuck yeah. Hey, listen, also too, I want to talk about the we done with the 90s trend. I'm just looking at this shit. See, I always watch NBA games like from the past, whether they came on Hardwood Classics or it used to be this site. It used to be this site online. It used to be called it was called like NBAarchive.net or some shit. It was I don't even know if it's up anymore, but there used to be a website online where you literally could pick a team, you pick a year, pick a team, and you could watch their old basketball games from that year. So when I was younger and I was starting to be a heavy basketball nerd and shit, I used to just watch old regular season games. And them shits, I'm gonna keep it a bean, were boring as fuck. I would just keep it a bean. I'm not into watching a 73-76 game in the fucking NBA. I know it's too much offense, but that was not enough offense. The NBA back then is not equipped for the skill set that some of these niggas got nowadays, bro. I'ma just keep it a bean. I know they always like to say, oh, well, these guys not as physical. It wasn't physicality. I mean, it was physicality just in the sense that a nigga would literally beat you the fuck up on the court. Like, you would go up and then he would catch you and slam you like it was WWE type shit. You know what I'm saying? Jordan rules for all my niggas who watch the Pistons documentary. Like, niggas know. So, Anthony Edwards, you think a 6'5", 220-pound, super explosive nigga wouldn't be able to go crazy in the 90s? Anthony Edwards would kill in the 90s. But what they would do in the 90s is the fucking media would probably try to minimize him and say, oh, he's not Michael Jordan, though. Because let's be honest, I do think Michael Jordan is the GOAT just because all of these niggas today, your favorite player is a byproduct of him. No matter who he is. Unless he's a Euro big, he's a byproduct of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was just the first, and I saw somebody say this, so I don't want to steal their take, but I agree. Michael Jordan was literally just the first hooper in the league. Like, all them niggas played basketball back then. But he was like, he was playing on a different level. Like, and you just look at, and it's this guy on the Instagram, I said the Instagram like I'm an old ass mom. Like I have an old ass beard. It's a boy on the gram. His name is called like B Smooth or some shit. And he do the joint where he be like, not talking until I'm impressed by these highlights, right? And he was doing the Michael Jordan joint. And Mike was playing and he was doing the highlights and Mike was going crazy. And I'm like, bro, I know the reason that you're not talking and acting like you're not impressed is because you're trying to downplay it because everybody already overrate or overhype Michael Jordan. But you gotta think, bro, the reason why these niggas don't give up on the take that he was the greatest player ever, let me just paint a picture. Imagine, let me just change it, right? Imagine if you was just, I don't even know what to compare it to. Imagine if you was just doing something a certain type of way. Imagine if you just had a car and all it did was go 50 miles per hour. Everybody car go 50 miles per hour. You might have some cars that go 40 miles per hour. You might have a car that even goes 65 miles per hour. And then out of nowhere, some random nigga on your block, he come through and his car is going 130. No, let me say his car goes 150 miles per hour. Yeah, perfect. His car goes 150 miles per hour, and all you've ever seen is cars do 60, 50, 40. And then he comes through, his car goes 150 miles per hour. He digging it. They would tell the stories about that car, and they would and it would mythologize. I feel like that's what they've done to Michael Jordan. They mythologized him a little bit, right? But the myth will reign about that car. You like, and then say that was in the 50s. In the 2010s, you would say, yo, this car that old Jimmy Robinson had on whatever street, that was the fastest car I've ever seen. And you like, what? Man, that car not that fast. It was like a bullet. It was like pew. It was like super speed. Never seen anything like it. And it's like, man, that car wasn't that fast, Grandpa, right? And then now we have cars that could go 180 miles per hour. We got cars that go in the 2010s. Cars that do 180, that do 200. And it's like, man, that car wasn't faster than this one. And it's like, that car was slow. See, this is what niggas is starting to trying to do. They trying to make it seem like Michael Jordan was ass. He was never ass. He's not ass. You put him in this league, he's going to do very well. And now you condemn, man, that car wasn't even that fast. 150 miles per hour, even still for today's standards, that's a fast-ass car. But the thing is, it's not as fast as the current shit just because it's more modern technology. But for it to even be that fast at the time that it was, it's like, you got to say that was the fastest car ever. Just because if they could make it 150 miles per hour in the 1950s, imagine if they had the technology of now. How fast would that car be if it was also created in the time of now? And then also imagine if that same car that went 150 miles per hour then, they studied that car to see why it was that fast, and now that's the model that they made all the new faster cars go. And because they studied that one. That's how I feel about Michael Jordan. All of these niggas is Michael Jordan's sons, basically. Just look at some of the best players. D-Book, who was his idol? Kobe Bryant. He used to train with Kobe Bryant. Jason Tatum, trained with Kobe Bryant. Who was Kobe Bryant? Kobe Bryant, what they always say, oh, he's the closest thing to Michael Jordan. If all of these niggas is running around preaching about Mamba mentality, oh, my favorite player growing up was Kobe. Yo, I love Kobe. Kobe was one of my favorite players. Or even if they say, yo, my favorite player growing up was LeBron. Guess who LeBron's favorite player was growing up? Michael Jordan. So I just look at it like that, right? A nigga now can play in that time, and he probably would freaking mystify the niggas that was playing back then. Like, how the fuck do I handle Anthony Edwards? But he would then turn into a myth. Now you hear about Anthony Edwards, you're like, no, this guy ain't. Like, he was different. So that's just how I feel about like the whole Michael Jordan and can niggas play in the 90s? Can niggas in the 90s play now? Like, I don't like to take the player as they are and put them back then. You would have to take that nigga when he was a little kid and put him in a time where he would have grown up to play in the 90s. You feel me? Like, it's kind of cheating a little bit. It's like, do I think that a fucking random C student is smarter than Sir Isaac Newton? No. That nigga didn't know about gravity until then. But I'm not going to... The niggas now only know about it because he made the discovery. Would I say that they smarter than him? Fuck no. You feel what I'm saying? It's like... It's a cause and effect to these things. You can't just take somebody and, like, they be like, oh, take this nigga and put him in the 80s. Well... Of course, because he studied all the 80s, all the niggas in the 80s. He know about all the games. He know about everything. You feel me? But that's all I got for y'all, man. This is a heavy NBA episode. I got to get up out of here. Nigga, an hour away from work. I'll holler at y'all next week. I got my fucking my pound for pound rankings coming. I got a free agency recap for the NFL coming. I got a draft, a little small mock draft. I might do the first 15 teams. It all depends on how I'm feeling when I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I'm going to have a fucking laptop right here with the fucking nerd stats and everything. I'm going to have all this shit down packed. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me. We still getting things fucking together on this pod. You know what I'm saying? We don't miss. I don't miss. I took 100 shots today, and guess what? I ain't missed one. Everything that I said was correct. And if you disagree...